Hello, welcome to Mr. Varn's class. And when you begin any class, one of the first things you're going to want to do is get to know your teacher. And while this is a Jordan District virtual learning class, you will have an actual teacher assigned to you, and that teacher is me. My name is Mr. Varn. You can call me Mr. Varn, you can call me Mr. Varn, or Mr. Varn. That's kind of redundant. So, I'm going to do a little exercise with you where I'm going to show you two of my heroes. And we're going to pull that apart a little bit. And then I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. So, here are my two heroes. One is a figure who lived over 1,000 years ago. And the second is a television program star and writer and a lot of things actually from not that long ago. I think that TV show went off in the early 2000s. So, who are they? Well, I'm not going to tell you for a second. I'm going to let you guess. So, who are my two heroes? What do my two heroes say about me? And if these are my role models, do my two heroes seem to conflict with each other? Like, why would that be? All right. Now, I want you to pause and think about that for a second, and I'm going to move on a little bit. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about me. I'm Mr. Varn. As you can tell in that picture, I like cats. This is my 12th year of teaching high school. Normally, I teach at West Jordan High School, although some of you are from West Jordan, some of you are from Copper Hills, some of you may be from Harriman. As far as we're concerned, any high school in the Jordan District can be my student right now. All right. Now, I haven't been in Jordan District for all that long, but I have taught high school for a long time. This is also my 15th year teaching overall. Now, you might go, "What? How does that work?" I'll tell you in a minute. I've also worked in publishing, both publishing works that I wrote and also publishing works by others, off and on for the past 17 years. So one thing about me is that since we work on reading and writing, I actually do jobs directly related to things that you would do with the reading and writing. Now, you do use reading and writing in almost everything you're going to do, and you might go, "Mr. Varn, I want to be a plumber." You're going to need to read and write, believe it or not. I want to be a coder. You definitely got to read and write. In fact, coding is a language. It works a lot like English. But more specifically, I worked in publishing. I have published poems. I have worked in literary magazines. I've done technical writing. I worked for academic presses. You know, I know what that is. So what I'm preparing you for will help you in a variety of different contexts. I have taught every grade from 6th grade all the way to graduate school. Now, if you don't know what graduate school is, it's where you go to after you get your bachelor's degree in college. All right? Needless to say, I've taught a lot of different things. Mostly in English, though. All right. More about me. Hey, am I a narcissist? I've lived on 4 different continents and taught in 5 different countries. So not just have I taught in the United States, I started off teaching in public schools in Georgia a little over 14 years ago. I've also taught at universities, both in the United States and in South Korea. I taught at a place called Hanguk Uede Hakyo, which you will never have to say. I am, like I mentioned earlier, I'm a professional published poet, and while I do mostly word publishing, I've also worked in digital audio and visual editing. This is some of the places I've lived. You can see a picture of a temple in South Korea. You can see I believe that is a tower at Chapultepec in District Federal, or what we call in the United States, Mexico City. And you can see, of course, I've also taught in Missouri, or in Egypt, as it's said in English. And you can see the Great Pyramids of Giza, at least 2 of them in that picture. All right. Shout out for all the old people graduating high school without Google. And I graduated high school without Google because I'm old. Okay, so let's get to my classroom philosophy, or, as I like to call it, why Genghis Khan, and if you guessed that, you were correct, is one of my idols. This class works like an army. It must be disciplined and work like a team. As your leader, I will guide you in a battle with language. And look, I know it can be a battle. I have dealt with all kinds of people.
Power off.
I have dealt with, you must excuse my background, I have dealt with all kinds of people. I also have struggled with, languages myself, not just English. I've had to learn other languages, and it can be hard, all right? You will become better thinkers, speakers, and writers by the end of the course if you follow my instructions, all right? I am your leader, but you do have a say. Think of me like a field commander, not a general. Do you know what the difference between a field commander and a general is? All right, these guys are you. Now, this picture says a lot about why I think Genghis Khan is a role model. Not his epic takeover of the largest empire in history, although that is impressive. It's that he took a people that were disunified and very, very poor. They had almost nothing, and formed them into one of the greatest civilizations we've ever known. If you read the Mongolian secret history, the history of Genghis Khan, you'll learn that according to their own sources, the Mongolians were in such hard times that they were having to make coats out of mouse fur. That's not normally something you expect to turn into great people who are going to conquer most of the world within literally 2 generations. Pretty impressive, huh? And I have that vision for all of you. You might not think of yourself as the golden horde, but I do. I think all of you can make something really impressive with yourself if you help each other. And you might go, but Mr. Varn, this is a virtual class. How can we help each other? You'll have plenty of time, I promise. All right, my philosophy on students, or why Mr. Rogers is my other idol. Now, I'm going to tell you a little story about me. All right. Before I was a teacher, I was a professor. But before I was a professor, my mother worked as a prison nurse, and I worked very briefly when I was going through college as a prison guard. And in my interactions with prisoners, they come from all different kinds of backgrounds. Most of them wanted the opportunities they did not have or that they lost, particularly to be educated. All right. And if you treated them with respect, they treated you with respect. Even some people who were really, really hard. And that's what they wanted. Now, I realized that I didn't want anyone that I met to end up in prison. Ever. All right? And while there were educated prisoners, it's not all just lack of education. A lot of those people really didn't have that chance. And so that's one of the reasons why I became a teacher. And Mr. Rogers was my idol for that, because Mr. Rogers said you had to love and respect everybody. And for something that they inherently were. Not that, you shouldn't do things to earn respect, but we should come in with the idea that you have potential no matter who you are, no matter what you've done, no matter what your background, all of that. And I totally believe that. All right. I salute you, class. We aim to be respectful, responsible, and thoughtful. And when we go over to disclosure in another video like this, I will talk to you more about exactly what that means for this Jordan District virtual class. But right now, how do you show respect? Right? I want you to think about that. Then, I want you to define respect for you. I want you to define responsibility and define thoughtfulness. All right. Now, I'm going to give you an assignment in a minute to let you tell me some of these same things about you. Like, what are these things? I want to get to know you. And I know in a physical classroom this is a lot easier, but I need to know some things about you, okay? All right. Now I hope we're going to have a good relationship throughout this class, and I hope to see you soon in a video. Take care.